Namaskaram. In this video, I'm going to share with all of you my MDI-Gurgaon interview experience. This will primarily be a experience sharing video where you can enjoy the experience with me without going very much in depth into the questions. All right, so let's get started. So the venue was all set in Dadar, Mumbai in a hotel management institute. It was the same venue that I had for my IIM CAP interviews. So it was nothing new for me. I reached the venue at around 11 o'clock or so, and I had around 2 hours before the reporting time. So we were told that the reporting time is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And so I was waiting outside with all the other aspirants. We had a lot of talks. A lot of people had become very familiar because we were meeting so many times in so many other interviews. So I was sitting with around 5-6 people or so and then talking to them, having a gala time. But as the clock struck 1, we were escorted up to the third floor into a room where the roll calls were about to happen. There we were being allotted a panel number and a different number inside the panel. So every panel over there had 10 people, right? And there were a total of 5 panels being set, so 50 people per slot. All right, so I was allotted the first panel, and then in that panel my number was number 5. So that would mean that whenever the personal interview would be taken for particularly my panel, I would be the 5th person to have my interview. So that was how it was set. So once the roll calls were done, panel 1 was escorted to floor number 1, where we had our rooms all set, where there was a room with 10 desks being organized there, where all the 10 people in our panel could sit. There were badges on the desks where we had to pick up the badge which had the number written. So in my case, number 5 was written, and we had to attach that badge to our uniforms or coats. And apart from that, there was a diary and a pen already given to us, so we could write any kind of rough work that needs to be done while the group discussion happened or the WATs happened. And finally, there was also a paper where it was written that you have to write your name and roll number, and then you have to start the WAT itself. Now, what was the topic of our VAT? It was brand loyalty versus convenience, that is the role of e-commerce in consumer decision making. This was the topic, and we had to write about it in 15 minutes, and the writing had to be legible. We had to have strong points. I'll be very honest, for the first 2 or 3 minutes of that VAT session, I was not even able to comprehend what that topic exactly meant. But soon I understood what it meant and started to make a variety of different points, and I wrote an elaborate essay on it, which I was very happy with. Now, post this writing session, we had the group discussion on exactly the same topic. So that is what is very new and very exciting about MDI Gurgaon. We have the same topic for both the VAT and the group discussion. So once we have written the VAT, we submit our papers, and then immediately the group discussion starts. So somebody starts and then other people come in. This whole group discussion lasted for around 25 to 30 minutes. All right, it was a long group discussion. Now, once that happened, I was again the person to conclude. I concluded again in the IIT Kanpur interview as well. So I have only experienced 2 GDs till now, that is IIT Kanpur and this interview, that is MDI Gurgaon. And in both of these GDs, I was the person who has concluded. So let's see how that goes. Anyways, once the group discussion was done, it was a fish market, by the way, but once it was done, we came outside, and then we were sitting outside. There were again chairs arranged, and then one by one, they were supposed to call us inside for our personal interviews. These personal interviews in MDI Gurgaon were long. Other colleges, they take PIs for about 10 minutes. Here they were allotting 30 minutes to each person, which was a very, very long time. So for us, they were allotting 30 minutes, and as the time passed by, the interviewers also realized that the day would finish and the number of interviews were just too many. So they wouldn't finish all the interviews even if they continue at that pace. So they started to speed up. They started to speed up from exactly my interview. I had an interview of only 15 minutes. The next person who had the interview was only of 10 minutes. So they kept reducing the time, and I don't know what the time was for the last person because I had already left the venue by then. But I had my interview for 15 minutes. Now let's get into what was being asked and how was the interview taken. So as I went inside, I greeted them with a Namaskaram, and then I sat there. They themselves said that you please sit in front of the desk, which was situated there. So I sat there, and then the female teacher, that there were two panelists, one was a female and one was a male. The female panelist started asking me about my introduction, where I come from, and then my work experience, what have I done. These are all questions and answers which were prepared already by me. She also asked me that I had done a marketing agency myself, so why am I pursuing an MBA after doing business? So that was a question as well, which I answered. I had prepared answers for all of this. But the tough point was when P1 started to question me, that is, the male panelist started to question me. He was trying to ask questions after questions on marketing without even letting me answer any question. So, for example, let me give you a small demo of what kind of questions were being asked and how fast he was asking. Let me ask you. Just think that you are the student over here. All right. So let me ask you. Hey, what do we mean by CTR? All right, leave it. What do we mean by ROAS? Anyways, do you know what is bounce rate? This is how the questions were being asked, and I was not able or not given time even to answer any of these questions. And the moment I opened my mouth to even answer, he was already off to the next question. That, I think, was a tactic to try to take me off my balance and make me nervous in the interview, which I was definitely not. I'm always a very calm person, so this did not affect me. I was sitting very calmly and responding, and whenever he stopped giving any more questions, I answered the last and the second last question which was being asked to me. So that was my strategy there. And slowly, as time passed by, the questions became much more in a calm demeanor, and there was actually respect and manners being given and taken over there. But once the interview was done, he asked me about my name and the meaning of my name. That happened, and then he said, all right, thank you so much, you can leave. So that was the whole kind of interview experience. What was I asked in MDI Gurgaon? Primarily on ACADS and work experience. So nothing else. ACADS and work experience. A lot of people were grilled on ACADS. So please keep your ACADS ready if you're going for an MDI Gurgaon experience interview. I'm sorry. And don't forget to subscribe. Bye.